And good evening, sports fans, and welcome to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here at Coach's Corner, because it's all part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. That's right, I'm part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Been doing this since March of 2020. Can't complain. Got to thank John Henderson and Dell Henderson for letting me do this, because it's always a lot of fun being on the internets. I know the internets, of course, got knocked off the radio, but I'm back here, So I'm glad you could join me, whether it's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But once again, thank John Henderson and Dell Henderson for letting me do this. So just got to get out here and do it. Last week, took the week off. I had family in, Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. Okay, and so I'm back on it today, Monday. Yes, I'm usually on Wednesday nights. But you know what? Got to do it Monday night, because what's Wednesday? New Year's Day. New Year's Eve, I'll be with family. New Year's Day, I'll be with family. Plus, it's very hard to get guests to come on New Year's Day. So I'm here doing this today, and I'm glad you could join me. It's, December 30th, 2 days, and it'll be 2025. How time flies. But I usually start the show by telling you I take 3 steps in the door. I talk about local high school sports, college sports, local college and college, of course. And, of course, we get into the pro. But today I decided it's New Year's. Let's talk about what happened here in the arena of prep sports here in Savannah, Georgia. That's what I really focus on, is the prep sports, is the young athletes, giving them more attention. So this whole segment has to deal with what I thought might have been the top stories. If I miss anybody, I miss your accomplishments, please let me know. Let me see. Let me go to my banners here. Let's see if this one shows you. You can go to the Prep Sports Report and send me a message. Here's another one. Let's see what this says. Now, they're both the same. So you can call me at 912-507-9158 or text me 912-507-9158 or email me, kdemasi@prepsportsreport.com, and I'd be happy to make sure I mention you on the next show. But let's talk about what happened this year in the world of sports. I'm going to go from January 2024 to December 31st of 2024. What other way to start off than with championships? South Effingham wrestling team, back-to-back state champions. They're dominant on the mat. They're doing it again this year on the mat. Just a great program up there by Coach Bringer and his kids. And what can I say? Back-to-back championships for the Mustangs wrestling program. Savannah Arts Academy girls. Okay, last 2 out of 3 years, cross-country champions. That's right, Savannah Arts Academy girls. Yes, they do like their sports, the Arts Academy. All right. Individually, if I missed anybody individually, please let me know. But Jamari McIvory and Jaden Singleton out of Savannah Christian, back-to-back state track champions. Jamari went on and was part of that Northern Illinois program that beat Notre Dame, that won on their bowl game. Jamari McIvory and Jaden Singleton, she's a cheerleader for Georgia. She'll be probably at the Sugar Bowl on Wednesday night. So congratulations to those two. So they graduated. Now they're on college. Okay. Final 4 championship runs. St. Andrews basketball going for a three-peat, fell short in the semifinals. Savannah High School fell short in the semifinals. Benedictine fell short in the semifinals. These are the boys' programs, but they made great runs. And, of course, Chucky Campbell, my good buddy from New York, taking the Atom Smashers to the championship game, falling short. But just it was great. The week before, they played Doherty, his best friend, Bakari Bryant, who was a legend at Jenkins, won a state championship at Jenkins. It was just a great atmosphere at Savannah State when they played each other. So if I missed anybody else that made it deep into the playoffs, basketball, let me know. College bound athletes. That's right. Now we know we could leave early, graduate early in December, and then go to college January. Hey, and we just happen to have 2 guys that did that. Of course, Luke Cromenhawk graduated in December, went to Florida State right away, got to play in at least 5 games. Yes, we know he transferred to Mississippi State, but you know what? He stepped in and played right away. Jake Merklinger, backup Tennessee behind that great other quarterback that's there. So 2 young guns. Left early, didn't leave early. They graduated early, got to get involved in the football programs. Great job over there for those 2 young men. Now, on signing day, I don't know, thinking about it, but 6 Power 5 conference, well, is it Power 4 now? Signed local kids, okay? Benedictine had 2. Third, Scroggins, University of Miami, the U. Okay, Jacoby Ward, Auburn, the Tigers, or is it the War Eagles? Okay, Savannah Christian, Elijah Griffin, we know he's been since 7th grade. He's been recruited by Georgia. He signed with Georgia. And then Logan Brooking goes to Clemson. Calvary Day School, Thomas Blackshear will be joining Elijah Griffin at UGA. And Walter, Buddy Mathis, signed with LSU. 6 top 4 or Power 4 or Power 5, whatever you want to say. I think it's Power 4 now because there's no long Pac-10, Pac-12, whatever out there out in the West Coast. So, and there was a bunch of other signings, okay? Off the top of my head, I can't tell you, but there was a whole bunch of high school football signings early. We got another football signings in February for football, so there's going to be a lot of more kids mentioned. But, I mean, what a story. 6 top football players, big-time Division I programs. All right, going there. Okay, what's going on here? Something happened with the laptop that's showing my picture. I guess it needs a product recall. I'll fix that later on. So that's on the 975-inch screen TVs that you can watch the Georgia game here Wednesday night. All right. More headlines. I got a big shout out to Memorial Day School. They made a commitment to give their players, their boys football program a chance to win. They went to 8-man football, didn't do a bad job. Okay. Like I told you, Johnson's playoff run ended in a Final Four and ended in a championship game. Benedictine basketball, it looks like they're going to be at it again. Great start this year. Calvary baseball went to the state finals last year. Philip Lee and the Cavaliers, such a great job. Hollis Stacy Award winner, the most versatile female athlete, went to Gianna Brown at New Hampstead. Four-star athlete, 4-sport athlete. Ashley Deering Award, most versatile male, went to Jamari McIvory out of Savannah Christian, football, basketball, track. I don't know if he did anything else. All right. Bethesda made it to the football championships this year. Okay. Lost a heartbreaker. They won last year. They were going back-to-back. But how about Antoine Turner? Been there 19 years. Now he gets a chance to coach his sons. That's a great story right there in itself. Savannah Christian football, Calvary football, Benedictine football, Effingham football. I mean, we had a bunch of teams making runs in the playoffs. Richmond Hill, Matt Lazat taking that team in at the 6A program now. State reclassification, everybody moving around. So instead of Calvary, Country Day, and Christian being together, Calvary went with the Class 3A teams, local teams, Chatham County Public Schools. Savannah Christian, Country Day went down to 1A. So, I mean, you know, it was just, that was a big story. Jenkins Flag football, Brianna Booker, taking Jenkins Flag football to the state semifinals. New Hampstead did the same thing. Calvary, St. Vincent's, South Effingham, all great flag football programs. Pretty excited about that one. What do I say about this young man? Rashawn Truel, New Hampstead, back-to-back Finicaro Water, voted on by all the high school, public and private coaches and the media as the best football player this year in Chatham County. Michael Finicaro, back in 1976, not 67, 76, decided that he wanted to have a best football player in Chatham County, designed it or made it look like the Heisman Trophy. And Rashawn Truel, I mean, what a year. In one game, he threw for 635 yards. He only got honorable mention in some of the state media sources. You got to be kidding me. He threw for over 3,000 yards, back-to-back seasons, unbelievable career. But you know what? He's the number one quarterback in the state, if you ask me. Just a lot of stories going on. If I missed anything, like I said, please email me at KDeMasi at prepsportsreport.com, which you see right there. Just put K DeMasi in front of it. And I'd love to share those stories with people around here. There's so many good stories that I might have missed. If there's any swimming stories or other sports, golf. Oh, golf. Oh, state champions. Coach, how could you do this? Three-peat. Savannah Christian Girls Golf Program. Wow, I'm glad I remembered that one, man, because that's phenomenal in itself. Mary Miller is over at Georgia Southern doing great things. Savannah Christian Girls Golf. Ooh, I'm going to shoot myself if I would have forgot that one, okay? Just a great program there with Annie Keller Baldwin. She does a great job. Or is Annie Baldwin Keller? I don't know, but she does a great job with that girls program. She won a state championship way back in 2007 or 2008 with good old Doyle Kelly. So what a great story that is. I mean, Coach, you almost dropped the ball on that one, Coach. I'm glad you saved yourself with the Savannah Christian Girls Golf Program. 3-time back-to-back state champions. Woo! All right. So like I said, I do this for fun. If I missed anybody, it's not on purpose. There's so much out there. Let me know. If I can think of anything else, you let me know. But it's always a pleasure talking about our local kids. But I will go off on one tangent here. I know I do. Well, college football, we know Georgia will take on Notre Dame Wednesday night. I mean, we're going to talk about that in the next segment with the man himself, the Atlanta man, Brandon Bain. He's the host of Rubbin and Grubbin, the other show here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. It's just phenomenal. But what I want to talk about is Coach's Corner is expanding. What do you mean, Coach? Coach's Corner is expanding. We have now, right, if you pull in the parking lot, you'll see a little building facing it to the right. We got Thunderbolt Indoor Golf and Games. 2 simulators. Right now, they're focusing on the golf games, okay? But they're going to add more games to it. I think they're going to have shooting games, duck hunting, deer hunting, you name it. John Henderson will find it. But check it out. Go to the website. It's TIGG, Thunderbolt Indoor Golf and Games, okay? Check it out. You can set up a time. You can go in there and see what it's all about. 2 simulators. I mean, so if you can't go out and play in golf, like it's raining out or, right now the fog or as it's dropped down to almost, well, you can golf in 50 degrees here, but it's a great thing. So pull into Coach's Corner Sports Campus, okay? And go to the right. You'll see the building. It's called Thunderbolt Indoor Golf and Games. And it really looks awesome. And, John told me they're working out the kinks, but everything's going in full blast. This is something near and dear to him, but check it out. So don't forget, tomorrow and Wednesday, we got college football. We got bowl games. There's over 80 TVs here at Coach's Corner. So I like to say there's a gazillion TVs here at Coach's Corner. So if you want your team's game on, get here early and get set and have it done. All right, next up, I hope he's out here in time. We're going to talk a little Georgia football. We're going to talk Sugar Bowl with the man himself, the host of Rubbin and Grubbin, the older sports show here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Brandon Bain, of course, can't forget about the man that's had the brainchild of Coach's Corner Sports Network, Lawrence Bennett, the producer of Rubbin and Grubbin. Gotta love him. So you're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Be back in 3 minutes. Stay right here. I got to fix the screen behind me. Hey, sports fans, looking for the ultimate sports and entertainment destination in Savannah, Georgia? Look no further than Coach's Corner. At Coach's Corner, you'll find everything you need for a great time, including TVs everywhere so you can catch all the latest sporting events, an outdoor seating area, perfect for enjoying a drink or a meal on a warm day, a wide array of drink options from beers to cocktails, a comprehensive sports schedule so you can cheer on your favorite teams year-round, prompt service even when it's crowded, a fun and lively atmosphere perfect for letting loose with your friends, and of course, delicious food, from famous chicken wings, hamburgers to delectable calzones and pizzas. Coach's Corner menu is sure to satisfy your cravings. In addition to all this, Coach's Corner also features an upgraded sound garden. Now, more seats, more bars, and an upgraded sound system. It's the perfect spot for hundreds of fans to gather and enjoy the latest local bands, tribute acts, and rising stars. So what are you waiting for? Join us at Coach's Corner for the ultimate sports, music, and culinary experience. Coach's Corner can't wait to see you soon. Remember, Coach's Corner is located at 3016 Victory Drive, right in Thunderbolt, Georgia, and on the World Wide Web at coaches.net. Remember, Coach's Corner, where every day is game day. Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary Day School, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ at Calvary Day School. We would consider it a privilege to meet with you and your family personally. Call Alicia Bain, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299. Yo, you still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room. If you can, at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. That's right. It's Monday night, not Wednesday night, December 30th. And due to the holidays, the New Year's holiday, the Christmas holiday last week, I took last week off. Well, I figured I got to do something this week. So why not? Let's talk about the Georgia Bulldogs. And the guy to my right, your left, okay, usually is right before me. He's the entertainment before me. He does all things NASCAR. He's coined the Atlanta man. Good story about that. Let me get my notes here because you wouldn't believe what this guy done. This is Brandon Bain from the other Coach's Corner show called Rubbin and Grubbin. A little hiatus because right now there's nothing going on as far as NASCAR. So, but he'll be catching up, and we'll ask him that question later on. What's going to be going on with their show? Check it out. Go to YouTube, Rubbin, RUBBIN / hyphen, whatever you want to call it, and Grubbin, because he rubs about the cars. And then John throws him free food. So he's grubbing at the same time. So he does a good job at it. But, you know, I got to tell you this right now, race fans, buckle up, okay? Because joining me today is the man, the myth, the legend, Brandon, the Atlanta man, Bain. And we're going to tell you what the Atlanta man means, okay? He's the host of Rubbin and Grubbin, NASCAR Superfan Show on YouTube, right here from Coach's Corner on a Coach's Corner Sports Network. He is the infield king of the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now, you wouldn't believe this, since 1992. He hangs out on top of rooftops. He has a checkered flag as a cape, okay? And he does a great job with Rubbin and Grubbin because his passion about NASCAR is unbelievable. But if you go to Turn 2, he's got his own Turn 2 crew. And, you know, he keeps the engines roaring, not just on, what is that, the Atlanta 400?
You got Ambetter 400. Just depends on sponsorship. But yeah, they knocked us down to 400 spring and summer now. So used to be 500, but
I know. Let's not talk about street car racing because you don't want to get into that. But so get ready because joining me right now on the Coach's Corner Soundgarden stage, where he usually does this before me, is Brandon Bain. Happy holidays.
What's up, Coach?
Hey,
Happy holidays.
This is great getting the group together. I mean,
yeah.
we once we had 5 shows. Now we're now to 2.
We're down a little bit. We'll get it built back up, man. You know, we gotta get it in there. Find out if some people that are hungry like we are.
So, but you know, I'm the old guy, but he's the OG of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Him and Dan Foles way back. Now, was it 2020 or 2019? You guys
19,
started?
yeah, 19 is when we started. It started out a lot different than what it is now. So obviously Dan was with me and. Kind of started the basis out of him not knowing much about NASCAR and me trying to teach him about it. And,
I used to love watching this show. I used to come in. He'd have his book there with all the NASCAR. This guy's got nothing except his, I call it his helmet cranial vault because
That's right.
Everything is inside his head is unbelievable. That deals with, but he knows a lot of other sports too, which I know he wants to talk about this. He's drooling at that.
Man,
but
you know it.
Now, you've been part of the Atlanta Motor Speedway with this Atlanta 400, 500 since 1992.
Yeah, so I started going. There used to be a guy trip. My dad and uncle started going, great uncle. And I tagged along. 92 would have made me, I think it was 6, 7 years old was the first one I went to. And then since then I went every year, a couple years there, late teenage years, you know, obviously it fell on Halloween and Patty's Day, Coach. So, you know, Mom and Dad were out of town there for a couple weekends. But no, other than that, man, yeah, just means a lot to me. Still have that same motorhome spot we went to in the group now. We have a few other ones too. But it's just a great time. I tell everybody, you know, the thing about NASCAR that a lot of people like, oh man, they just go fast and turn left. But if you're into technology, if you're into engineering, it's definitely a sport to look at. Also camaraderie and just people. I tell everybody that. I think the fan base of NASCAR, regardless who you root for, is probably the best fan bases out there. You you can get into a college football and baseball and go back and forth and have some good banter. But NASCAR is kind of one of those things. Doesn't matter if you're an Elliott fan and I'm a Rivals fan. If you don't have toilet paper and you need it, I got you. I mean, it's just one of those things. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I tell everybody, if you've never been, the stands are one thing for sure. It's still an experience, the sights, the sounds, the smell. But the infield at any NASCAR track is definitely the way to go for sure.
Well, it's like that with any sport. I mean, just the smell, like, being an old football coach, come springtime, come late summer, early autumn, that smell of the grass is something you never forget. And don't go into the locker rooms because that's one smell you'll never forget.
That's right. That's
so
right.
Now, what intrigued me is you're the founder of the Turn 2 crew, which has about 25 to 30 dedicated race fans. And your motto is camaraderie, grilling, and spirited race day celebration. So
that is it, man. Yeah. So that started, I mean, there's a group, there's still a lot of people there from 90s that went, we've lost a lot of people quit going, a lot of my family quit going, and a lot of people in general either passed away or just got out of the sport. But yeah, it's really neat. There's guys that have been going close to as long as I have down there, that have seen me grow up from being 7, 8, 9, 10 years old to a full blown adult now. But yeah, it's like family. It's once a year, twice a year. We all get together, we all cook, we all hang out, we all tell stories, ask how everybody's going, drink a little bit. Obviously you got to do that, coach, a NASCAR race. And, it's great catching up with everybody. And it's really neat. I had an opportunity. It kind of got big for me a couple of years ago there. Tyler, a guy that's in the PR department there at Atlanta Motor Speedway, kind of reached out, saw the show and reached out. And I've been able to do a lot of really cool things for Atlanta and for, Rubbin and Grubbin as well, just from that. So,
well,
really neat deal.
He's being a little modest here. He's being humble. How can you not notice a guy on Turn 2 standing on an RV with a checkered flag as your cape and being coined the Atlanta man at the Atlanta Motor Speedway? Come on. How did you come up with the cape, and how did you get that persona?
That goes back, I guess, 10 years now. I guess 14, 13 was the first time I did that. Obviously, I like to have a really good time when I go to NASCAR races, and that Sunday morning was probably trickled over a long Saturday night into a Sunday morning.
So,
yeah, a couple Bloody Marys and some biscuits, Mama's biscuit and gravy, and next thing you know, man, we're tying capes on and giving it hell up there. But yeah, it's a good time, and I enjoy doing it. It's the only time you ever see it's on Sunday. A lot of folks ask me, like, oh, do you, no, just Sunday. Sunday's the only day I put it on. Saturday
traditions, usually, right?
Yeah. Saturday's usually my day. I get a little harder than Sundays, but Sunday you will always catch me, man. Dead center at Turn 2.
Standing on top of his RV.
Yeah, you can see it.
So, but anyway, NASCAR, we'll get the last question. I'm going to ask about NASCAR, Rubbin and Grubbin. But what I usually do is I bring a guest on before I bring on my Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week. And I give him 4 questions. So it's 4 quarters with the coach. So we're going to give this young man, and he's a Bulldog fan, true and true. He also is a Braves fan. We don't want to talk about the Falcons.
No, Falcons. You can never quote me as saying I'm a Falcons fan.
But you know what? What the Falcons is, the red and black, the red and gray.
It is, man.
It was modeled after Georgia, but they just don't have that Georgia tradition.
They should have been recruiting Georgia the last 2 years.
Yeah, I know.
Drafting Georgia, they'd be all right, coach.
So big game, Wednesday night, Sugar Bowl, okay? This game broke my heart. He wasn't even born yet. Back there in 1980 or 81, whatever it was, against Notre Dame. Growing up in New York, Catholic boy, there was only one team you root for. It was Notre Dame. But when Georgia came on the field and Herschel Walker changed my outlook, I still wanted Notre Dame win, but just the way he came out there, got hurt on the first or second play, went to the doctors, went to the trainers, went to the physicians, never missed a beat. What did he rush for? 160 yards that game? Yeah. And Georgia won their first national championship. So it was pretty cool. So it's going to happen Wednesday night. I can't lose either way. I'll be rooting for the Irish and I'll be rooting for the Dogs. So I can't lose anyway. So, but 4 questions with the Atlanta man. Okay. So what do you think will be the key to shutting down Notre Dame's offense on Wednesday night? Love the running back is unbelievable. And, but Georgia, believe it or not, has had a rock-solid defense all year, which they get no credit for.
I mean, I think as fans, as Georgia fans especially, and I'll put a few, Alabama fans, there's a few of us out there, a few top 5 handful of colleges that get spoiled. We get spoiled. We had 2 of probably the most college football dominant defenses you're ever going to see in this era of college football. And we have big expectations at Georgia, big university, a lot of updates, a lot of NIL money getting pumped out. We have big expectations, right? Let's be honest, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, I think it's one of those things when you look at it. I watch Notre Dame, and look, I watch my Dogs play. I watch a few other teams play on Saturdays. Obviously I work on the weekends. I'm not into it the way I used to be of watching multiple teams, multiple games, and really dissecting games. But from what I saw, Notre Dame is a really good, solid football team. I will say this. You can imagine they're probably underfunded compared to a Georgia. Now, this is what I'm going to say. Talent goes a long way. I don't think Notre Dame has the speed on either side of the ball that Georgia has. I think that if we show up, we pressure, we stop the run, obviously. That's a key. But if we pressure that quarterback and play some solid defensive back play, that's it, man. I mean, that's the key right there, Coach. Pressure. I mean, you know, a turnover, too, always goes a long way, too. I don't think we're going to need it, to be honest. I don't think we're going to need the turnovers. I think we're going to show up. But we're going to do what we've done all year, man. If we can get that pressure like we did that first Texas game and a couple other games, I think we're going to shake them up. I just don't think they're ready for the speed we have.
All right, so now question number 2. We're turning to Gunnar Stockton. Okay, Georgia boy, dreamed to play at Georgia. Offensive line for Georgia, though, has been susceptible this year, okay? And Carson Beck took a beating.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. Yes, he didn't have a great year. He also didn't have the talent that he usually had the 3 years before that, okay? 2 years before that. Notre Dame's front seven is tough. Is it quick? We don't know. So, how you know, you just said it. It's going to be the battle in the trenches. And from what I'm hearing, you're saying you think Georgia has is probably more talented in the trenches?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're definitely, when you look paper for paper and you start going size matches, yeah, I mean, for sure. Now, the one thing I'm going to say is I think this is beyond talent on both sides of that line. I think this is scheming. I think this comes down to Mike Bobo and the offensive coordinator and that group of figuring out ways. One, you got Gunnar Stockton, who's been on that staff for a couple of years now. He's been to the big games, hadn't played in them, but he's been to the big environments. And for anybody that doesn't know, you better go out there and do your homework about Gunnar Stockton first off, because the kid, Rabun County, Georgia, owns some records at the state of Georgia. And you got to think there's Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence both came from the state of Georgia. Deshaun Watson, I mean, we can name – we can keep going, naming a lot of good college quarterbacks.
I'll go back to a
high school
quarterback named Fran Talkington that came out of Georgia.
There you know. So it's one of those things. I think scheming for them. I think Bobo's game plan for him, getting comfortable, get those short reps in. You know, we're hurt a little bit at running back. We're banged up. We got ETN, but
he's back.
I think
he's supposed to be healthy.
I know. I think Frazier's going to be there. The other two, you know, I think are going to be banged
Robinson
up.
got hurt in practice?
Yeah, Robinson. I think, you know, and Cash Jones is always there too, you know, in and out as they do with schemes. But I think
Cash Jones is just a blue-collar worker.
That he is, man.
Just give him the ball and let him do what he does. He's a dog, right.
A couple yards, give it to him, let him do his thing. But I think the scheming of it, I think Bobo's game plan early in the game is going to dictate a lot. I think if we can run the ball, open up a little bit of play action for a quarterback who maybe doesn't necessarily have that big game experience, has the talent but not the experience. And again, we got to catch, man. Our receivers have had a little case of stone hands over the whole season, man.
Number 11, is that Smith?
Yeah, Aaron Smith, track star.
If he would stop jumping and just catch the ball naturally, I mean, he'd be all right.
Man. Fastest guy on the field too, man.
But why is he going to jump every time he tries to catch the ball? I don't know,
Coach.
So,
I don't know.
All right, we're going to take a little halftime break here. That way, down to quarter number 2. We're going to come back to quarter 3, but we got some people checking in here. So, Dennis Kessler, you are the number 1 fan of the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. You're the number 1 fan of Calvary Day School football. But yeah, how do you like Nolan Smith? I love him. I mean, believe it or not, he's leaving a mark. Nolan Smith. I mean, the Eagles. So I appreciate you telling us having a great show. Hey, look who it is. The long lost boy.
That's right. Look at him. There he is.
Sean Herb, where you been, brother? We love you too. We will always love you, okay?
Brother.
And of course, you know he's paying attention here.
Oh yeah.
Every time Brandon mentions Chase Elliott, an angel gets his wings.
Sounds about right. Hopefully he gets some more championships. That's what we need.
All right. Grass in Augusta. I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means? I don't know. Sean, what are you doing? We're not playing golf. I mean, we missed you on the 19th hole this year, but you're still smoking? I mean, sorry, I'm not going to say anything about that.
That's Herbanese right there.
Right. And remember, stand on the RE roof. He does that.
That's it.
And the last one from Sean, I want Georgia, but Notre Dame has the best quarterback in college football. Love Stockton.
Oh, man.
I don't know if Notre Dame has the best quarterback in college football.
I don't think so.
Not by far. So if you got a comment for either Mr. Brandon Bain, the Atlanta man, or myself, put it in the comments. We'll try to answer it. So we're going to quarter number 3 now. All right, so Georgia is playing at home. I don't care what anybody says. The Sugar Bowl is home field advantage for the Georgia Bulldogs. And we know the Georgia Bulldog fans, they're going to make that place electric. And, you know, being in the Dome is something special. So what do you think? How do you think Notre Dame's going to handle this atmosphere? I mean, they're coming all the way down from, Indiana all the way down to the big crazy down there.
I tell you what, Coach, this is what was that, 19 when they came to Athens? I think, we go there in 18. They
18,
came to Athens in 19. They handled that atmosphere pretty well for showing up.
I heard they had more Notre Dame fans than 19.
I mean. They travel pretty well, right? So I think, obviously they're going to travel. I think that, again, the tempo of the game gets set early. Georgia's been a second-half team all year. We've seen that. We don't need that this game.
No.
This is time we got to come out. We start, we show, we blow up. We get it done. If we can blow it out and be done by third quarter, we got to get done, get after it. So I think they'll adapt well. I mean, Notre Dame has proven, I think that, the coaching staff there and what you've seen them this year, maybe not the toughest schedule in college football by no means, but again, coming from an unconference team, they have no conference, they're independent, making those playoffs, huge money game for that university.
Oh, yeah.
Which only helps trickle it down. I think that they're going to show up. I think they'll play well. Again, I think the keys to that game is going to be first half. If Georgia can establish itself dominance as far as on defense and get the offense clicking,
keep the fans in the game. Okay,
fans are going to stay in the game, but as long as it's not a 30-0 blowout at half, them dogs are going to stay in the game, man. We'll keep barking.
Okay, last question, quarter number 4. So one player you're watching have a breakout performance for Georgia against Notre Dame. Who is it and why?
Got to be Stockton, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we got to watch Stockton. I mean, that's who it's got to be. That's who I think on offense it all revolves around, right? Now, again, I'll tell you something that we really need to be paying attention to is our punter. Who's punting? Thornton got hurt, and the Thunder from Down Under is probably the best punter in the nation.
I heard Kirby took a couple of
snaps. Yeah, he did. I heard everybody was doing it. Pulaski, everybody was taking it, man. So we'll see that. But, again, I think that the quarterback play for sure, as long as he doesn't let the game get too big and the moment be too big for him, stick to his guns, man. We don't need a 400-yard, 3-touchdown, 28 for a 30 passing game.
No.
We just need solid, good choices, no turnovers, and, we'll come home with the victory.
For me, it's Mr. ETN.
Yeah.
If he can establish himself early and often, that'll take so much pressure off of Gunnar Stockton that when he does want to pass, he's going to have time to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And I think, ETN, I think just like his brother, there's something special about the kid. Man. And I'm glad he's back from the injuries, but he is the key. If they can set up their running game and they can get him consistently doing what he does, I think we're going to have a good night.
I mean, you've seen it all year. I think that's one of the hardest 3-yard runners you've seen. Break 3 tackles and get 3 yards.
And that's why he'll tell you why he came, because he wanted to play for a win.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, you look at it. I mean, both of them are great. And look at Cook brothers. I mean, James Cook coming out of there. Look at the season he's having at Buffalo. Georgia. We know what Georgia does.
So, all right, we'll go on one extra question here. We call this the final lap question, okay? Because we got to ask him something about NASCAR, okay?
We do.
With all this knowledge in that cranial helmet of his, what's in store for NASCAR? And I'm going to have this young race car driver coming in next, Will Haire, which you've been following very closely. He was on your show back in March. So what do you think this young race car driver, what kind of future does he have?
I tell you what, this is, if anybody's out there looking for somebody local to watch and rep, you got to watch Will. Will's an amazing, great family, work really hard. I mean, the talent that he shows, especially, this is what I think people don't understand about racing and auto racing in general. You can be the most talented, you can be the Joe Montana of NASCAR and have the worst equipment and never make anything, right? So I think especially for where he's at compared to who he's running, the budget on what he's running on, and did really well this year when you look at it in his class.
Oh, yeah.
Will's an amazing race car driver, man, and love it. Obviously I'm older now. I never had the opportunity. Would have loved it. Don't know if I'd have been any good at it, but I'd have loved it. So it's great. You kind of live vicariously through somebody younger than you and watch, and just very talented young kid, local kid. Got to support, man. I know Rubbin and Grubbin this year coming up. We'll be throwing some sponsorship money out there to Will. I'm pretty sure Coaches is. A couple other local businesses in town. So if you guys are out there watching and
it's expensive.
It is very expensive. It is racing, and that's why not everybody does it, because racing is not it is not a very inexpensive sport. It is very expensive. Doesn't matter if it's motocross or a car race. Doesn't matter what it is. It's expensive. RC racing is expensive, Coach. All right. So at the end of the day, just a great guy. But again, if you're a business out there looking for something local to put some money into and help support a young athlete out there living his dreams, man, check him out. You can follow Facebook. You can find it. Will Haire Racing. Again, Matt and JJ do such a great job with this kid. I mean, a multi-sport athlete as well. It's not like he's just playing racing.
Savannah Christian.
Playing racing. It's not like he just races, football and a lot of other things. So,
lacrosse.
Yeah. I mean, he's an athlete, man. So love it for sure.
I guess it's just like sports that you have to put helmets on.
I guess, man. Yeah. I did mine. I only wore one half the time. Baseball is mine every once in a while, but yeah.
All right, quickly, anything coming up, Rubbin and Grubbin, when you guys going to kick back?
Man, I tell you what, we're getting back, let's see, the last week, January, we'll get back the Clash, the first exhibition race of the year. I think it's first weekend in February 5th. I think 6th, 7th, 8th sometime this year. So we'll start that back up. Got to give a shout out to all the sponsors, obviously, is everywhere. Hopefully this year, I think we've got a couple more coming on. We have one join right there. Liberty Forge Wheels join at the end of the year.
So you had a fun playing with that box.
Yeah, I know that box is no joke. That wheel,
it was heavy.
I got to transport that wheel.
I got you.
Looking forward to that, man. NASCAR has changed a little bit coming into this next year. We got a few new courses on, tracks on the schedule. Some things changing. We still have some drama going on with 2311 and NASCAR itself on those Chargers. So there's some stuff to talk about for sure. Looking forward to it. Man, I tell you, it's a good thing, and none of it's possible without the sponsors. For me, East Coast Logistics and coaches, and Arborman Tree Service and Lamar's Body Shop. Everybody that sponsors in, they do a great job for me. They make it possible for charity. And this year coming up, it's actually going to hit a little bit closer to home for me. I have a really good friend of mine who's actually like family. I've known him since we were, 4 years old. His dad's had some medical issues this past over the holiday, so it's been rough for him. He's had to take some time off work. So here in that first part of the season, we're going to be putting it together, doing some big things for him, man. But just, looking forward to it. NASCAR, the longest season ever, February, November, Coach. So at least my off season's not long. I don't have long to wait.
I hate to tell people, more people watch race car, the sport of NASCAR, the sport of race car driving than they do any other sport here in the United States. So it's pretty popular. Well, you do a great job.
Well,
pleasure.
You,
Happy New Year. Enjoy your time off and enjoy the cruise.
Definitely will, man. And I'll get back. We'll get back on. But I do want to give a shout out to you as well. If you guys out there know what Coach does for everybody, the humble man that he is in giving. So the Stacy Bragg, the cancer stuff that Coaches does, all the good charity work that Coach Karl DeMasi does, man. I want to thank you for that, Coach. You are an amazing staple.
Like you guys.
Inspiration for
helping
me,
people.
Man. You make me want to do more. So we'll keep it up.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Brandon Bain, the Atlanta man, the Turn 2 crew. And if you see the guy on Sunday with the checkered flag hopping on that RV, that's the man, okay? So appreciate it, brother. Got to get going. Next guest's been waiting here. I told him 7:30. Of course, I went a little over because I love the talking. But once again, we got to talk about the man who's been checking in here. So Kirby needs to give halftime talk at the beginning of the game. You got that, Sean? And you are right. You do a great job, and wish to get you back here. So we'll be right back. So stay tuned. Give me 3 minutes. Got to thank my sponsors. And we're going to be talking a little race car driving and, of course, what he does at Savannah Christian Preparatory School. We'll be talking to Will Haire of Will Haire Racing. Stay tuned. 3 minutes. You'll watch the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coaches Corner Sports Network. Hey, sports fans, looking for the ultimate sports and entertainment destination in Savannah, Georgia? Look no further than Coach's Corner. At Coach's Corner, you'll find everything you need for a great time, including TVs everywhere, so you can catch all the latest sporting events, an outdoor seating area, perfect for enjoying a drink or a meal on a warm day, a wide array of drink options from beers to cocktails, a comprehensive sports schedule so you can cheer on your favorite teams year-round, prompt service even when it's crowded, a fun and lively atmosphere perfect for letting loose with your friends, and of course, delicious food, from famous chicken wings, hamburgers to delectable calzones and pizzas. Coach's Corner menu is sure to satisfy your cravings. In addition to all this, Coach's Corner also features an upgraded sound garden. Now, more seats, more bars, and an upgraded sound system. It's the perfect spot for hundreds of fans to gather and enjoy the latest local bands, tribute acts, and rising stars. So what are you waiting for? Join us at Coach's Corner for the ultimate sports, music, and culinary experience. Coach's Corner can't wait to see you soon. Remember, Coach's Corner is located at 3016 Victory Drive, right in Thunderbolt, Georgia, and on the World Wide Web at coaches.net. Remember, Coach's Corner, where every day is game day. Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary Day School, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ at Calvary Day School. We would consider it a privilege to meet with you and your family personally. Call Alicia Bain, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299. Yo, you still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room. If you can, at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. Slide in so we can get you in that picture. There you go, Will. Okay. Welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. And if you can, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to Rubbin and Grubbin, subscribe there. But once again, this is what it's all about, the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete Week. That's how I got involved in this stuff, because way back when, I wanted to get more news, more information about student athletes, something they've done special. Well, I've been watching this kid since March, since he was on Rubbin and Grubbin, and what he's been doing all summer long. I mean, it's just simply phenomenal. This week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete Week is Will Haire of Will Haire Racing. He also is a rising 9th grader at Savannah Christian Preparatory School, where he plays football and lacrosse, and then he tries to find time to drive a race car. So he's crazy about his helmet sports, all right? Well, Will races at the Will races U.S. Legends cars with Podium Motorsports.
Podium Motorsports.
Okay, at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Drives the car number 5, okay? He made waves this season, competing in 4 different point series across the Southeast.
Yes, sir.
Wow. He finished 3rd in the Atlanta Motor Speedway Track Championship, 4th in the Thursday Thunder Summit Series, and 2nd in the Atlanta
Motorsports
Park in the Moonshine Series. Not drinking moonshine yet, though, okay, with 2 wins. And like I said, he's also a standout student athlete at Savannah Christian. Just finished his 8th grade year, and now he's in his 9th grade, going into his 9th grade year, right?
Yes, sir.
You're a 9th grader?
No,
you're still an 8th grader.
Next
right.
year I'll be 9th.
He's still got to go. He's still got to finish 8th. I think he's older than he is, so anybody, okay? But he's a standout student at Savannah Christian. Congratulations, Will. But that's why you're this week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete Week.
Keep
it up. Coach. So I haven't watched the race yet. I got to watch it because I used to come and watch Mikey Carter. You ever met Mikey Carter?
Yes, sir.
Michael Carter. I can't call him Mikey anymore. Okay, you've met him?
Yes, sir. He's a real nice
So he was on the Mazda tour, right? Is that what you call it?
Yes, sir.
So how did you get involved in race car driving? Because, it's an expensive sport. And when did you first start racing? How did you get involved in U.S. Legends? Tell us the story.
Well, the way I got started in U.S. Legends cars was I was doing go-karts. We were doing really well, but we had some friends who were into Legends cars, but I was helping out their son in go-karts as well. And they saw how good I was doing with helping him.
So they put you in the car?
Yeah. And I got 10 races to see how I liked it. After that, we decided to buy a car and join Podium Motorsports.
Nice.
And ever since then.
So how old were you?
I was 12 years old, I believe.
12. What are you now? 15, 14?
14 years old.
So in 2 years, you've won all these events and gone all of these places and races.
Yes, sir. It's been very fun.
And as you know, Brandon Bain, the host of Rubbin and Grubbin, was up here before. I mean, it's really an expensive sport. But tell us how your family has supported your racing career so far, and what roles have they played in your success as a race car driver?
Well, I'm the first racer in my family. All my family has been very encouraging, and they enjoy the races. And sometimes we can come to the track, we'll have 10 relatives there, and then they also go in to help me with driving me to the tracks. I can't drive yet. I can drive on the track, but I can't drive.
You can race the car and drive the car, but you can't drive yet. Okay.
Yes, sir. And so they take me there, and they all help me. My grandmother, both of them actually, my dad, my mom, my brother, and my uncle all have helped.
Are you racing older race car drivers?
Yes, sir. I have at Atlanta Motor Park. We raced people who were like 50 even. Like people older than you probably too.
Well, I hate to tell you this, Will. I doubt it.
They had 65-year-olds out there.
Well, that would probably be my age group. So, okay. All right. So explain the 4 different point series, okay? What's the difference between the 4 different point series?
So you have National Point Series, which is like you go to Nashville, you go to what is it? You go to Nashville. Some of them are Atlanta. Some of them are in Florida.
Florida.
And
Okay.
then you have some in Dominion, which is in Virginia.
Right.
And so you go up there and everywhere. And then you have Atlanta Motor Sports Park. Oh, my bad.
Just slow down, take your time.
1 second. I might need a drink, actually. Hold on.
Go get it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, keep it right there, so in case you need it.
Yes, sir. So,
And I'm gonna slide in here. I
Yes,
tell you something about on the radio, on TV. Stay away from the Coke because it causes you to stick to the water when you come on and do interviews. Okay,
so
I'm only joking with you. Just take your time. So go ahead. So we have a national point series,
which is all over the country. And
Right.
then you have Atlanta Motorsports Park Series, the Moonshine one, which is at 4 weekends at Atlanta Motorsports Park, but you have like multiple races during those weekends. And those are at the end of the year. You'll have Atlanta Motor Speedway Track Championship, which is all kinds of races there.
All right. So the main question is, how do you stay focused and prepare for each one of these point series? Aren't you racing different guys in different cars, or is it all?
Sometimes I do, but I
Okay.
just mainly take it one race at a time. That helps the most.
Okay. But are it different cars, or it's the same Legend car? Is it?
Same Legends car. Sometimes you race against different classes, though.
Okay. So catch your breath. So tell me, motor size. What is a Legend car?
Legends cars are Yamaha MT-09s. They're based off of 30s Fords and Chevys. Mine's a 37 Chevy sedan. And so they have those, and the 34 Ford Coupe is what a lot of other people use. We
Now,
don't like them as much.
Are these are, of course, they're not the old 34.
No, sir. They are fiberglass bodied. They're
Okay.
like 1,000 pounds, and they're a 5/8 scale, I believe. And so they're just really good cars.
All right. So in the second half of the season, okay, your performance surged. Were there any adjustments that you had to make to improve your results?
I started mainly relying on my teammates who are champions in all the older divisions, including my crew chief is actually a national champion.
Nice.
And so he started relying on them, helping my braking, my apexes, and all that stuff.
Oh, so you just don't get in the car, start up and race. You got to have other techniques.
No,
too.
you got to think about it sometimes. It's not going left necessarily. Sometimes the car goes right, but not under your control.
So we also know that they make left turns, but there's other things that are going on. So if
Yes.
you're just joining, it's the Karl DeMasi Sports Board. I'm at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete. I'm talking to Will Haire of Will Haire Racing. We got the OG here, Lawrence Bennett, in the background. He's here. Okay. Will is a rise. Well, he's an 8th grader. Next year he'll be 9th grade at Savannah Christian. So just how he finds time to do all this, I don't know, because he also plays football and lacrosse. All right. Now, finishing 3rd in the Atlanta Motor Speedway Track Championships out of 30 drivers is no small feat. What was the highlight of the series for you?
I would have to say the championship race because I didn't qualify good, got bad laps, but I came up from last to 2nd, and it was having to go against front runners and
So
all
you
the
were in
nasty.
spot number 30.
Well, there's not always 30 drivers.
Okay.
I was in spot like number 15 or so. So I had to
Okay.
pass 15 cars.
Oh, that's not.
Or actually, no,
that's,
13 cars.
that's something that's pretty special that you have to do. So, so the highlight of the series is getting the 2nd. Did you think you had a shot at winning the whole thing?
Yes, sir. I would have had a few more laps and a lot less bumping would probably help.
Oh, you're allowed to rubbing and grubbing like they talk about, rub the cars and everything like
That's
that.
a lot of that. The bumper was very messed up afterwards.
All right, and now in the Thursday Thunder Summer Series at the Atlanta Motor Speedway is known for producing top NASCAR talent. How does competing in a series with such a strong legacy or a tradition feel like?
I mean, it's just exciting to know that some of those drivers like Joey Logano and Brandon's favorite driver, Chase Elliott, and David Reagan as well have done it all. And they've won it, and it makes you feel like you have a better shot at making it there because they were in your shoes at one point.
All right, so you also took a trip to Dawsonville, okay? And you
Yes,
were on
sir.
the road course racing at the Atlanta Motor Parks Series, okay? How did you manage to secure 2nd place in that race?
Just using some of my go-kart experience on road courses really helped because you can't use that a lot with ovals because
Right.
it was all road course racing anyways in go-karts. And so,
So road courses like street car racing. Okay.
or it's not street car racing. It's with left and right turns all the time instead of.
So you're not going straight.
Yes, sir. That's the best part of it.
So with the go-kart, you had to go right and left and everything else. Nice.
Yes, sir.
People, 4 different classifications here. That's all I can tell you. I mean, it's just crazy how you can go from one to the other. So it's not all left turns like we're talking about, okay? Which brings me to my next question. So racing across these different courses in multiple states brings tough competition, where if you stay at the same place, you know everybody. So what's been the most challenging race or opponent this year with changing all these different courses and races for you?
Well, Cole Denton is one of them. He's a guy who's, I think he was second in national points, and he was really good overall. He's just real fast and somehow can beat you at everything, but he's really hard to pass, and we were able to hold him off for a race.
How old is much older than you?
He's a year older than me.
Okay, but probably doing a lot longer?
No, he's actually done it the same amount of time. He's just real fast.
Nice. Or his car's real fast?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Okay. All right. So beyond the racing, you also play football and lacrosse at Savannah Christian. How do you balance all this? And when I hear you're a pretty good student, how do you balance all? I mean, it's time management. How have you been doing this?
Having good coaches and good teachers, mainly. They all help me out, and my teammates as well. They understand that I want to be there as much as I can, and the coaches do as well. And so as long as I work twice as hard in practice, they'll let me do my racing, but they're really encouraging and push me to do my best in everything I do.
All right. So when does this kick off for you next year or this year?
Well, it kicks off, I think, late January.
Late January?
Yes, sir.
You got a race already. Where's that?
Cordial.
Okay.
Podium Motor Speedway.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's in Cordial. And
that's in the middle of nowhere out there somewhere in southwest of Georgia.
Yes, sir. It's pretty much, there's watermelon farms all around it. If you go off the track, you go into a watermelon farm.
So is the first place a watermelon?
They actually give you one, I think, sometimes.
Now, what type of track is it? Is it an oval?
Yes, sir. It's an oval, really good banking, and there's only a wall in the front stretch. So you go off the track everywhere else. I've had it happen a few times, but you can make it to the bottom still.
All right. So as far as next year, what are your goals? And is there a particular series or race? I mean, there's 4 different series that you are targeting to hopefully have a championship run at.
I'd like to get some wins, and I wish I could win all the championships, but I think we might have potential to do it, but it's going to be real hard. This year we were knocking on the door. Hopefully we can win them this time. Nice.
And, he's up at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and from what I can tell, the crowds are pretty big. So if you want to sponsor Will Haire Racing, you can go to Facebook. Where else can you go to find
Instagram? I believe there's a YouTube account, but those are the main ones.
So, I mean, it takes a lot of money to do what you're doing.
A whole lot of money. We have sponsors like Coach's Corner and Rubbin and Grubbin, and you've helped us out a lot with encouragement. And so just thank all those people for it.
No, well, keep on going. I'm really looking forward to watching it. I haven't watched it. Now, do they televise these races?
Yes, sir, they do. I can't remember the website. I think one of them's US Legends Cars, but they're on YouTube and everywhere.
Well, let me know because we got to publicize it a little more. But once again, keep the great work, and you're going to continue with the football and lacrosse?
Yes, sir. I love it.
So anything with a helmet, eh?
Yes, sir, pretty much.
But you know
and wrestling, we like doing that a little bit.
You're
we
wrestling
just started
now,
doing
too?
that again. Yep.
Mom and Dad, I don't know how you do it. So Will Haire Racing, check it out on YouTube, check it out on Facebook, check it out on Instagram. Twitter yet?
Do we have Twitter?
No Twitter yet. So, but he's all over the place and up and coming race car driver. And like you said, he's racing in some events that national known race car drivers have participated. And look where they're at now. Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much.
Great job. And believe me, by the time you become a senior and you're ready to go big time, this will be cake for you.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you, Will.
Yes, sir.
Good job.
Thank you for this.
Okay, but you got to give the microphone back.
I don't know how to get it off.
Lawrence will help you. I was only joking with him. But once again, check it out. Will Haire, W-I-L-L, Haire, H-A-I-R-E Racing, YouTube, Facebook, up and coming, race car driver. Like I said, Michael Carter out of Benedictine did it for a while on the Mazda Miata courses and race circuits, and it's a lot of fun watching these guys do it. So if you can, check it out. All right. On that note, it's a Monday night, and the coach is at 55 minutes, so I got to string this out for an hour for for the producer of Rubbin and Grubbin, and of course the man I was watching. So I'm going to go to Karl's Corner. Okay, that's where I take a national spot or a national point in sports and talk about it. I mean, college football, great sport, but what's going on in college football is really tough. Once again, we're watching bowl games where players are not attending. Players are backing out. Players are dropping in the transfer portal. It's just crazy. I mean, and the NIL deals. I believe athletes deserve to get paid or get compensated for their talents and what they're bringing to these programs. But there's got to be some kind of commitment. The NCAA needs to push back the transfer portal dates. Of course, if you know anything about it, the transfer portal date deadline is December 28th, right at bowl season. One team was missing 42 players. Another team dropped out because they didn't have enough players. It's just crazy. And, bowl season's a lot of fun. We're going to get some good football coming up tomorrow, New Year's Eve, and, of course, New Year's Day. Coach's Corner, check it out. There's a gazillion TVs. You want to watch your favorite bowl game right behind me. 9 75-inch screen teams. We'll have the Bulldog game. Come check it out. But I'm telling you right now, it's just becoming a money-making operation. It's becoming professional sports, and it's just killing the amateurism of what college sports used to be. And like I said, I'm for every college athlete being compensated. I had 2 boys play college sports. Believe me, it was a struggle for them, and they weren't getting what these kids are getting now. And these kids now deserve what they're getting, but there's got to be some kind of regulation. So look forward to it. And as far as Georgia, Notre Dame goes, it's a tough one for me. But I think the Bulldogs are going to be the better team here. I think the Bulldogs will pull us out. They'll win by a touchdown. So come here to watch it in Coach's Corner. Mr. Bennett, you have a prediction for the Bulldog game? You have a prediction for the Bulldog game?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't make a comment, so I was just waiting for it.
21-20.
The OG of the Coach's Corner Sports Network, Lawrence Bennett, he's the producer of Rubbin and Grubbin, says 21-20 Georgia. I'm going to go 27-20 Georgia. I just think Georgia's got the better team. So got one on there, buddy. So even though it's going to be tough, I'm going to have my Notre Dame T-shirt on and my nice Georgia sweatshirt I got from a man I know by the name of Lawrence Bennett. So whatever. Like I say every time I do the show, whatever you're doing, hopefully this took you out of that crazy world we live in. You need to say a prayer for this crazy world. And once again, you gotta just be there for everybody else. So enjoy what you're doing. As I say, every show, whatever you're doing today, tomorrow, hit it out of the park. Happy New Year. Be safe. And until I talk to you next week, may it be your best week ever. Peace out. Love you. Talk to you later. Believe it or not, I got a fan club tonight.